Hello, I'm David Hyde Pierce, and I'm your host for the Opera Jukebox, a benefit for the Artist Relief Tree. It is just a little after 7 p.m. in New York City, and I don't know if you can hear out my window here, but the city is making a glorious noise. You can hear people. They're applauding, they're shouting, they're banging pots and pans together. Well, it's our way to show our appreciation and our respect to our frontline workers, and it's also our way of reaching out to each other and saying we're all going through this together, we're in it together, and we're going to get through it together. We've been doing this every night since the pandemic began, but this week a different sound has started to rise up here in New York and in cities across the country. It is the sound of grief and rage over the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis. We at the Artist Relief Tree join in solidarity with those who are grieving, with those who condemn this act, and with those who condemn the pandemic of racism that spawned it. Tonight, you will hear great artists singing songs of love, faith, humor, and loss. Songs to take our minds off our troubles, and songs to plunge us deep into the heart of them. There are times when the arts can help us express the unexpressible and face the unthinkable. We dedicate this concert to the power of music to show us our worst selves, to unite us, and to heal us. We are in this together, and we will get through it together. It's amazing that these two pandemics, these two tragedies come back to back. As Shakespeare wrote, when sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. Well, when COVID-19 struck, the Artist Relief Tree was right there to help musical artists weather the financial hardships and the emotional loss of dreams deferred. All through this evening's program, you are welcome to make any donation you like at that website. All through the evening. Some of you have already contributed. We thank you for that. If you want to contribute more, we will not hold that against you. And as you watch the singers tonight, don't do a thing. But as soon as they stop singing and you're inspired, and I'm talking, just start sending money. It's such a good cause. Now here's Aaron Crouch to tell us just how the ART helped him.
Hello, my name is Aaron Crouch, and I'm a tenor from Bowie, Maryland. I was actually in Washington, D.C., getting ready to go to one of my final rehearsals for a performance that I was doing with the Washington National Opera when I received an email from the general director saying that our show was canceled due to COVID-19. I went home the next day, not really sure about where my next source of income would come from. It was very stressful because it seemed like every day I was checking my email and another engagement in my season had been canceled. Luckily, the Artist Relief Tree organization had just posted instructions on how to apply for assistance. I filled out the form very quickly, and according to them, I was actually the first person that they were able to support. And thanks to the amazing people at the Artist Relief Tree, I was able to fill up my refrigerator for a couple of weeks and not be hungry. And I know that that's the same for a lot of the artists that they have supported. They've just kept our lights on just a little bit longer. And so if you would like to support us, the artists around the world, please do so by continuing to support and donate to the Artist Relief Tree organization.
Thanks, Aaron. We filled up his refrigerator for a couple of weeks. Any donation just means so much to these young artists. So look, here's the way this works. The format is very simple. It's called Opera Jukebox. For those of us who are perhaps too young to know what a jukebox is, and if you are too young to know what a jukebox is, but you're an opera fan, God bless you. Anyway, jukeboxes are these machines that they have all these songs in them, and when you put in money, you get to pick what song you want to hear. And they have them in diners, they have them in country western bars. You can find one in Patti LuPone's basement. And so what we're doing is, a couple of weeks ago, our lineup of 7 amazing opera stars each offered 3 selections that they agreed to perform from their homes. And you all voted for your favorite selection online. And we're actually going to get to chat a little bit with each of these performers, which I'm very excited about. And then they'll present the winning selection, which was pre-recorded a few days ago. And in between, you'll hear a little bit more from some Artist Relief Tree recipients, and you'll be treated to some special surprise appearances. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but their names are Matthew Polenzani, Francesca Zambello, Isabel Leonard, Renee Fleming, and Christine Baranski. So you won't know who they are, but just wait. What you really won't know is, will you get to hear Jamie Barton rip into the habanera or croon Somewhere Over the Rainbow? Will Anthony Roth Costanzo bring us to tears with Roy Orbison's Crying, or sing something from Giulio Cesare, my favorite opera to pronounce? Will Sasha, Cooke, and Helly Markgraf channel their married life quarantine frustrations into fisticuffs as they sing one of their duets? Well, you have to stick around to find out. We're about to start with our first performer, but before we do, just a little bit more about Artist Relief Tree.
Hi everyone, my name is Rachel Stanton.
Hi, I'm Thomas.
Hi everyone, I'm Kevin.
Hey everyone, I'm Marco.
Hi, I'm Andrew.
Hi everyone, I'm Morgan Brophy, and together we are Artist Relief Tree.
Artist Relief Tree grew as a result of the COVID-19 health crisis.
We felt an obligation to do something and extend a helping hand to freelance artists all around the world.
We're offering $250 to any self-identifying artist in need of emergency funding that might help with things like rent or groceries.
Our tree's roots have extended around the world. We have volunteers working on 4 continents to help us reach our goal of raising $1 million.
Our art ambassadors include a number of names you'll recognize. Janae Bridges, Isabel Leonard, Ryan McKinney, and other opera stars, representatives from the Berlin Philharmonic Orchestra, as well as arts leaders throughout the world.
Currently we have 3,517 artists who have requested funding, and we'd love to help them all.
We also have a waiting list of over 14,000 more.
Thank you to everyone who has shared their story with us, to those who have donated, and to those who continue to create. We're all in this together. Thank you.
Amazing. So many people on the waiting list. And you know, there's so many people in need all over this country, but those of us who are artists and those of us who love the arts, we're the ones who have to take care of our fellow artists. So please give generously. And I know it has $1 million goal, but if we hit that million before the end of the evening, just keep giving. We don't have to stop there. All right. So our first performer is Jamie Barton, critically acclaimed by virtually every major outlet covering classical music. Jamie Barton is increasingly recognized for how she uses her powerful instrument offstage, lifting up women, queer people, and other marginalized communities. Her lively social media presence serves as a hub for conversations about body positivity, diet culture, social justice issues, and LGBTQ+ rights. Already honored as the Cardiff Singer of the World and winner of the Richard Tucker Award and Beverly Sills Artist Award, Jamie was just named 2020 Personality of the Year at the BBC Music Magazine Awards. As the great Lucille Ball, another fine diva, said, "The more you do, the more you can do." Right in meet a Vigilment. Hi, Jamie.
Hi, David. Oh my God, it's so wonderful to meet you.
Well, likewise. You look really festive, as does your home.
Thank you so much.
Now, where are you? Where are you? Where's your place?
Atlanta, Georgia.
How you do? Yeah, wow. I mean, pick a city. It's just amazing. Well, I hope you're doing okay.
I'm doing well. I've got friends and family surrounding me. It could be a lot worse.
Well, good. So now listen, I've got here that you chose these amazingly different selections. We've got the Habanera from Carmen.
Mm-hmm.
We've got O Don Fatale from The Godfather. Sorry, that's wrong. That's from Don Carlos. And we've got Somewhere Over the Rainbow from The Wizard of Oz. It would be awesome to hear all three, but our audience has chosen with their dollars, and they chose the Habanera. Yes. Now, it's such a naughty song, and it's really profoundly naughty when you do it. You brought down the house at the proms when you did it last year. Is there, you just embody the song. Is there something about, is there a message in the aria that really just you identify with?
Absolutely. Well, Carmen, while it's not a role that I've sung yet, she is a role that I am dying to sing because I identify with her in a lot of different ways. Number one, she is a strong, independent woman. Number two, I think she's queer, and I'm really, really interested in having more bisexual stories on stage. And she's beautiful, and so am I. So
here. I have to go back and reread that opera. I'm so excited that she's queer. That's interesting.
Well, it's my own take on the character, but I really do think that she is bisexual, pansexual, something like that. I think she's one of the myriad of opera characters that could be taken in that way, and I would love to see that go that way.
That is cool. Well, she says love is a rebellious bird, so
exactly.
I guess she is. So let us hear the habanera from Carmen performed by Jamie Barton. Wow. Wasn't that awesome? All right. Thank you, Jamie. And our next singer is bass Wei Wu. Last year, Wei received a Grammy Award for his portrayal of Kobun Chino Otagawa in The Revolution of Steve Jobs, a role he created at the Santa Fe Opera. Other companies Mr. Wu has performed for include Washington National Opera, Minnesota Opera, and the Prototype Festival. Hello, Wei.
Good evening, David.
How are you?
It's such a great pleasure to meet you.
Likewise. That's
great. And bravo to Jamie for the gorgeous singing.
Wasn't that awesome? I know.
Yeah.
So where are you in the world here?
I'm self-quarantined with my family in at our apartment in New York City.
In New York City. Great.
Yeah.
Neighbors. Hi.
Yeah, neighbors.
That's great. Well, now, so you have 3 selections that you chose. O Isis und Osiris from the Magic Flute. This Nearly Was Mine from South Pacific, and Il Lacerato Spirito from Simon Boccanegra. And do you know what the winning selection is?
And the winner goes to This Nearly Was Mine. It's actually my personal favorite out of the 3 choices. So
awesome. That's great that worked out. I'll tell you something. This Nearly Was Mine by Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein from South Pacific. And I have to tell you, I'm really glad this is the one they picked, because it's a musical that's named after an ocean.
Yeah.
And when I hear you sing, you have such depth and richness in your voice that I just thought, if the ocean could sing, that's what it would sound like.
Thank you, David.
Anyway, I'm thrilled that we get to hear this. And who's your accompanist on the piano?
It's actually going to be my wife. She actually is a bassoonist, but she started playing piano when she was a kid.
Oh.
As an opera singer, I know I'm a lucky boy, but sometimes you have to be a good boy, otherwise you won't play.
I understand. That's too much. But well, next time she's got to play the bassoon for we'll see how that works out. But anyway, we're thrilled to hear you both. Here is This Nearly Was Mine. Take it away.
Was mine. my friends. It's Matthew Polenzani coming to you here from my home outside of New York City. I hope you're enjoying the Opera Jukebox. It's a really fun concept, and I hope you're having a good time with it. Opera is not just about hitting the high notes, or even the low notes if you happen to be a bass. It's about being a part of a larger artistic community. And, with performance after performance being canceled all over the world right now, many artists like myself are struggling in a difficult time. The Artist Relief Tree is an organization that is dedicated to supporting these artists, to supporting every one of these artists in these difficult days and difficult times. And I would love to ask you to please take some of the money that you might have spent on tickets, for example, and donate it to the Artist Relief Tree and help them help the people who are in dire need. Until we can be back in front of you on the stage, doing the thing that we love so passionately and the music that you love so passionately, I hope that you are all staying safe and staying well. And thank you for your donation, and can't wait to be back in front of you again soon. Take good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Matthew. It's just amazing, I have to say, to meet all these amazing stars as human beings and not as icons on the stage. There seems to be no gap between their artistry and their humanity. It's really, really inspiring. Our next inspiring performer is the brilliant soprano Leah Crocetto. Leah is known for her transformative portrayals of many of opera's greatest classic roles, including Norma, Desdemona, Aida, and Liu. Ms. Crocetto has been described by the New York Times as possessing an agile coloratura technique and a feeling for the Italianate style with warmth, full penetrating sound, and tenderness. And there she is. Hello, Leah.
Hello. Hello. It's such an honor to meet you. I've been a fan since I was a child.
Oh, well, that's really sweet. I'm glad to hear that. And thank you for being part of this. It's so cool that you're all doing this. Now, where are you in the world? In your home?
I'm in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Oh, Ann Arbor. That's great.
Sure.
Perhaps, are you connected to the university there at all?
No, I actually just moved here during this pandemic craziness. So, yeah,
Well,
I was living
cool.
in Washington, D.C. before that. So it's been
That's awesome.
crazy times.
I asked because in the Broadway world, there are so many of the finest performers who have this connection with Ann Arbor and University of Michigan. There's some magic that happens there. But anyway.
I grew up with many of them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So now let's see. You chose 3 selections: Vici d'arte from Tosca, and the song By the River, and I Want to Be Loved. And I was hoping that you could do them all together as I lived for art by the river and now I want to be loved. But I don't think we can do that tonight. That would be too big of a rewrite. So
yes.
Our audience, however, did have a choice, and they chose Vici d'arte from Tosca with music by Giacomo Puccini and the libretto by Luigi Illica and Giuseppe Giacosta. So my question for you is, all of these wonderful songs and the audience went for Vici d'arte. What is it about this aria that just grabs audiences so much?
It's the quintessential aria about art. It sums up why we do what we do. It's when you're called, I feel like singing opera and being an artist, a performing artist, is a calling. And Tosca says, I've lived for art, I live for love. And to me, they go hand in hand. And it just reaches in and grabs the deepest part of your soul. And nobody can write a chord like Giacomo Puccini, that that chord that just gets to your soul and just brings the tears.
Yes, it's true. And the other themes that creep through as you're singing that just open your heart. Yeah, it's amazing. Well, that's very cool. I gave my song to the stars, to heaven, which smiled with more beauty. There's a tribute to librettists everywhere. All right, well, let us please hear Vici d'arte and Leah Crocetto.
Thank you.
Thanks. Mm, holy moly. I'm supposed to talk now. That was incredible, Leah. That was splendid. And Leah is right. This is, Vici d'Arte is the theme of this event. This is about artists who we honor, who have lived for their art. And what we're desperately trying to do is to help them keep that art and their lives going. And it occurs to me, by the way, this is so inspiring, watching all these singers. And if you were sitting at the Met right now, and you were inspired by someone singing up on the stage, and if you got out your phone to make a donation, they would pick you up and physically carry you out and throw you in the street. So this is a great privilege to be able to hear these wonderful singers, and at the same time, feel free to go on and make a donation. Here to explain more about that is someone who has dedicated her life to art, and especially to opera, Francesca Zambello.
Hi there, my name is Francesca Zambello. I'm the General Director of the Glimmerglass Festival and the Artistic Director of the Washington National Opera. I've also been a freelance artist for decades and decades of my career. I know how important it is right now to keep the arts going. This organization, the Artist Relief Tree, is something that I believe in. If you can support them in any way, I know that a contribution of any size makes a difference. All of us running companies, working in companies, and part of the audience want to keep our songs going. So please, please help them if you can. Thank you so much, and stay healthy and take care of yourself.
Thank you, Francesca. Time for our next singer, who is Will Liverman. Mr. Liverman recently received the highly prestigious Marian Anderson Award from Washington National Opera. He has graced the stages of the Met as Papageno in The Magic Flute and Horemhab in Akhenaten. Hailed in the press as one of the most versatile singing artists performing today, Will has performed at Minnesota Opera, Wolf Trap Opera, Santa Fe Opera, and the Dallas Opera, among many others. Hello, Will.
Hey, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
Good, good. It's a pleasure to meet you virtually.
Well, likewise. I've actually been watching you a lot, preparing for this evening tonight, watching some videos of you. This idea that you are have such varied talents, what you're able to sing, the variety is just astounding, and it's really cool.
I appreciate that.
So we've been talking about the effects of the pandemic and people losing work, and has that affected you? Has there been anything in particular that you were had your dream set on that you had to give up?
Yeah, I had a few cancellations in Seattle and Portland. I was going to do Marcello and La Boheme in Seattle, and then I was supposed to sing Silvio in Portland, and both of those cities I really love, and both of those operas and roles I love, and so I hope there's a world in which we get past the thick of this thing to have an opportunity to sing it in the future at some point.
Here. Yeah, we're all just aching for it, aching to see you and hear you again. So, but this is the next best thing. Now let's see. All right. So your three selections that you chose: Onegin's Act 1 aria from Eugene Onegin, and the spiritual Steal Away, and the Charlie Chaplin song Smile. Now, did you have one of these that you were secretly hoping the audience would choose?
To be honest, I was hoping for the Steal Away. The Charlie Chaplin Smile I've performed, various times on my platform. And to be honest, Eugene Onegin, it's kind of a vocally taxing sing. And in addition to being quarantined, my chords are a little quarantined as well. So, you have up and down days where you want to sing and days where you don't. So Steal Away is kind of a good middle. And more importantly, a good friend of mine, Shano Peblo, who arranged the spiritual, is a dear friend. And anytime I have a chance to perform his works on a platform, I'm always honored to do that. So yeah.
Wonderful. And that is in fact what they ended up choosing, right? So you get to sing that. Now this I'm seeing, it was originally composed by Wallace Willis, who was a Choctaw freedman who also wrote Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, which is amazing. So, and everything else aside, the timing of this song right now is it's something we need to hear right now. So
yeah. In light of everything, of course, with the COVID-19 pandemic that's affected everybody, we have another pandemic in America in the form of racism, racial profiling and stereotypes. And the sad thing is this isn't anything new. We just live in a world where we have, digital devices and smartphones to capture these modern day lynchings. So beyond the hashtags of these Black victims of racial killings, I think real change now more than ever is needed and a true healing in this country. So in light of that, I want to dedicate my performance to George Floyd and to all of the Black lives that have been silenced, all the Black lives that have received these unwarranted and unnecessary death sentences because of the color of their skin. So it's for them.
Here it is. Steal Away. Thank you.
Hi there, my name is Raze Cheatham and I am a musician, music educator and model based in Baltimore, Maryland. Due to COVID-19, besides losing, being furloughed from my job as a recruitment coordinator and trainer for Warby Parker, I also lost income from several opera premieres, chamber opera premieres, a musical premiere, and solo concerts. I work in a lot of part-time capacities with children and students, with, customers, and it's just lots of part-time, high-risk, people-oriented work. But because of the Artist Relief Tree and other organizations like it, I was able to kind of take a breath, because it was kind of interesting to see how our community could respond so quickly to this crisis and support one another until we were able to be supported by the government at large. And for that, I'm just incredibly thankful.
Hi everyone, Isabel Leonard here. Thanks so much for watching the Opera Jukebox. I am sure you've enjoyed my incredible colleagues, and I'm asking if you can to please spread the word and let everybody that you know about this, and ask if they're able to donate to the Artist Relief Tree. It would be a great help. The more support that the Artist Relief Tree can receive, the better chances that the song can go on. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for everything. Much love to you.
And thanks, Raze and Isabel. Okay, big change up now, because all we've been hearing is solos. We'll now hear a duet from the married couple of Sasha Cooke and Kelly Markgraf. Ms. Cooke is a two-time Grammy Award winner and much sought-after mezzo who has premiered many roles in new operas, including Dr. Atomic, Everest, The Revolution of Steve Jobs, As One, and Marnie. Mr. Markgraf has created roles in several world premieres and has appeared with the nation's leading symphony orchestras, such as the Los Angeles Philharmonic, the New York Philharmonic, and the San Francisco Symphony. Hello, Sasha and Kelly.
Hi.
Hi, David.
Hi, you guys. How are you?
Great to see you.
We're hanging in there. How are you?
I'm good. You both look really snazzy. Awesome. Now, I have it on good authority that you guys have two beautiful daughters.
We do.
Okay. And I'm wondering how they feel about having two opera singers as parents.
Some of the sounds we make in the house, I think they honestly believe that we're aliens.
Probably. They probably think all humans are opera singers. That's my guess. And opera is the most normal thing to them. They don't think it's a special. They've been watching 4-hour operas since they were, a year old.
Right.
Oh, fantastic. That should be our natural state. I think that's really cool.
Right.
My other question would be, how do your neighbors feel about having two quarantined opera singers?
They really feel for us, because they have normal, stable jobs. And what's lovely is they've reached out and said, how are you guys? And they want us to make a concert. So we're planning that. Hopefully.
That is awesome. That is so cool. Nice to hear that. All right. So let's see. What were the three duets that you were choosing from?
We offered a duet, the famous La Ci darem la mano from Don Giovanni. Mm-hmm. Also the final duet between Carmen and Escamillo from Carmen, and the Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better from Annie Get Your Gun.
Yes, and Wolfgang and George lost out to Irving. Irving Berlin, and Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better. Go to it.
And now, little lady, if you would kindly step up to the parapet, I will give you a lesson in long-distance marksmanship.
You couldn't give me a lesson in long-distance spitting. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Anything you can be, I can be greater. Sooner or later, I'm greater than you.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I can shoot a partridge with a single cartridge.
I can get a sparrow with a bow and arrow.
I can live on bread and cheese.
And only on that?
Yes.
So can a rat.
Any note you can reach, I can go higher.
I can sing any note higher than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
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 How did you do that?
I'm a girl. Anything you can buy, I can buy cheaper. I can buy anything cheaper than you.
50 cents.
40 cents.
30 cents.
20 cents.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Anything you can say, I can say softer.
I can say anything softer than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
I can drink my liquor faster than a flicker.
I can drink it quicker and get even sicker.
I can open any safe
without getting caught.
Sure.
That's what I thought, you crook.
Any note you can hold, I can hold longer.
I can hold any note longer than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you
yes,
can't. Yes, you can! You know, I could have held it longer if I wanted to.
Right.
Anything you can say, I can say faster.
I can say anything faster than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
I can leap a hurdle.
I can wear a girdle.
I can knit a sweater.
I can fill it better.
I can do most anything.
Can you bake a pie?
No.
Neither can I.
Aha! Anything you can sing, I can sing sweeter.
I can sing anything sweeter than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, 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 you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Amazing. That was great. Thank you, Sasha and Kelly. Okay, here is my favorite thing to say in the world. And now, a word from Renee Fleming.
Hi, this is Renee Fleming speaking to you from my home in Virginia. Thank you for being with us for the Opera Jukebox and supporting the Artist Relief Tree. If you're enjoying this evening's performance, please share your enthusiasm and encourage your friends to donate to help artists in this difficult time. We need our young artists to thrive and to be inspiring us again in the near future. The more support the Artist Relief Tree receives, the better the chances that the song will go on.
Hello, my name is Megan Esther Gray. I'm a mezzo-soprano from Cedar Falls, Iowa. I am currently finishing up my second and final year in the Metropolitan Opera's Lindemann Young Artist Development Program. And while the Met has been generous financially to the young artists, I did lose several contracts. And in that transition out of a young artist program into the big scary world of freelancing, it really impacted me. The $250 that I gained from Artist Relief Tree enabled me to take my kitty home on the plane with me back to Iowa. And more importantly, it really inspired me and made me feel valued as a human and as an artist, and just gave me hope that people are out there that are willing to make things work and make things happen for artists during this time rather than just talking about it. So thank you so much, Artist Relief Tree.
Thank you, Renee and Megan. I was listening to an interview with the mayor of Palermo, Sicily, who was devoted to the arts in his city, and it's an artistically very rich city. And he was asked what he felt artists most needed. And his response was freedom from fear, which I think is something that Megan was referring to. And that's what we're all trying to provide these young artists, these struggling artists, freedom from fear. Something we can all appreciate. All right. But now it's time to be scared, because our final performer for tonight is the star countertenor Anthony Roth Costanzo. Costanzo recently scored a major triumph at the Met in the title role of Akhenaten. He has appeared at leading opera houses from Chicago Lyric and San Francisco Opera to Glyndebourne and English National Opera. He has sung at Carnegie Hall, the Berlin Phil, the Kennedy Center, the Guggenheim, Joe's Pub, and Versailles, although they asked him to leave. No, that's not true. He was supposed to be singing there. Anyway, he's appeared on Broadway in a Merchant Ivory film, has a Grammy nomination, and produces shows as well as sings in them. Welcome, Anthony.
Thank you so much, David Hyde Pierce. How exciting is this?
This is crazy. You do so much. That's
well, you know, what else am I going to do with my life but do things? You know, that's my theory.
But so my question is, you obviously have so much energy and so much creative, you know, you go in so many different directions. With this quarantine, how are you staying sane?
Well, you know, I'm taking a slogan from our queer ancestors and I'm acting up. I'm acting up in every way I can. When it comes to politics, great, but also the arts. What are the creative futures that we can create now within these constraints? What are the dishes I can cook with the chickpeas in my cabinet? You know, I'm acting up all over the house all day, and that keeps me going. It gives me energy and it gives me ideas and it connects me to people. I feel like that's what I'm missing most right now, is this sense of community from which art is made. So I'm trying to make sure we keep that going however we can. And you doing this with us is really helping.
Well, thank you. It's such an honor for me to be, as I was saying earlier, to get to hear you all sing, but also just to virtually hang out with you. Is, you know, this is a privilege for all of us watching that we don't get. It's one of the rare perks of this pandemic, is this kind of dynamic. So
well, thank you. And I love looking at your CD collection behind you, which I feel must have some opera in it somewhere.
Well, the operas are up that way, actually. I thought briefly about moving them all down to be behind me, and then I thought, no, I can't do that. It's no. Okay. And someday we'll explain to the young people what CDs are, because that's a whole.
That's right. They don't know.
All right. So now you went in as many directions with your choices as you are with your career. You've got Liquid Days by Philip Glass and David Byrne. Ore de per pietà from Giulio Cesare. I had to work on that.
Sounds great.
By George Frederick Handel and Niccolo Francesco Haim.
Yeah, Haim.
And the Roy Orbison, Joe Melson song, Crying. That is a really tough choice, but our audience actually did choose, and it's kind of appropriate what they chose, because our last song of the evening was co-written by the man called the Caruso of rock, Roy Orbison. So ladies and gentlemen, I give you Anthony Roth Costanzo and Crying.
I was all right for a while. I could smile for a while, but I saw you last night. You held my hand so tight as you stopped to say hello. You wished me well, but you couldn't tell that I'd been crying. I'll be crying, It's hard to understand, but the touch of your hand can start me crying.
Well, I don't know whether to applaud or get a restraining order. That was unbelievable. For those of you who may not have recognized it, that was a picture of me that he was manhandling there. Anthony, that was unbelievable. And the song was beautiful too. And I'm sure just what Roy was thinking when he wrote it. So now, here is a word from my pal and fellow opera lover, Christine Baranski.
Good evening. I'm Christine Baranski. The COVID-19 pandemic hit the community of performing artists very hard. We're very grateful to you for being with us tonight for the Opera Jukebox, but hope your support will continue beyond this concert. Please consider making an additional donation to the Artist Relief Tree and let others know about the good work they're doing. Thank you, and stay safe.
Thank you, Christine. And thank all of you for being here tonight for Opera Jukebox and supporting the Artist Relief Tree. I'm going to tell you that the event has raised, we've basically doubled what we had before the performances tonight. We are at $5,421, which will support 21 artists. And that's incredible. And we're so grateful to you. And we're also grateful to our glorious noisemakers, Jamie Barton, Wei Wu, Leah Crocetto, Will Liverman, Sasha Cooke, and Kelly Markgraf, and even Anthony Roth Costanzo. And if you enjoyed tonight's performance, we hope you will make an additional contribution to the Artist Relief Tree and help them keep the good work going and the glorious noise sounding. I'm going to do it as soon as I hang up here. So please spread the word about the Artist Relief Tree. Thanks again to everyone. Thanks to all of you. Have a good night. Stay safe. Be well. Bye-bye.